What's going on, everyone? Dwayne here from NorCal Nerf Club, and real glad to say today we get to do a quick review and look at the Adventure Force Tactical Strike Sentry X2. This little pistol that I got to tell you about, I was a little bit less than excited about getting this one. I'll get into that for a couple reasons. One thing, I'd already seen some of the reviews of this blaster before, and it seemed underpowered. But the price is nice on it. At $10, $9.97 at Walmart.com. You can't really beat it, and available at any Walmart shelves, I do believe. But there you go. There's the blaster. Let's go ahead and I want to get this out of here so we can talk about it a little bit more in depth before I go and take it apart and see what kind of spring it needs in it. That's going to be the important part. That's what caught my interest in this. That and the fact that, you know, I really do like all the stuff that Adventure Force and Dart Zone puts out. I like the Liberator a whole lot. Of course, I like my Powerball and Titaniums a whole lot. And, you know, especially after doing the spring upgrade on the Liberator, I said, this blaster has to be something good to it. There's got to be some way to get some good out of it anyways, or put some good into it, rather, would be the better way to look at it. But there we go. There's the blaster. And with that, of course, you get, here's 6 rounds that come with the blaster. I believe there should be some instructions in here that we don't need. I would hope not. Anyways, but yeah, we'll go ahead and get the rounds out of here, because I think the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and put this on the chronograph over here and get some numbers, because like I said, here in this same video, I am going to take this apart and we are going to see what kind of spring it needs into it, what kind of spring upgrade that we can do with this. So there we go. There we have the blaster right here. And it is a good looking blaster, except for one thing that I noticed about this, and I always really liked about the Adventure Force and Dart Zone blasters, is that the grip down here would usually be a separate piece and would match the priming grip up here, which I like that. Just aesthetic wise, it was pretty nice. One thing, they're ones that are like that from Adventure Force and Dart Zone also seem to be a little bit small in my hand. Sometimes they're a little bit shaky still, even when they're tightened all the way down. So yeah, just little issues like that I had with them. This one is nicer in my hand. I've got to say that. That one really fits very nicely, except for a little, I'm not big on this safety trigger here, and this one sticks out quite a bit. Really easy to press in. You know, the trigger lock, if it's out, you can't press the trigger. We press it in, now you can press the trigger. Yeah, had to lose that on the Liberator. We're going to definitely lose that on this one. Okay, so that's one thing. The grip I didn't like as much as just color-wise. No, okay, now size-wise, I like that. That's much bigger in my hand, so I do like that. A little bit different here as far as loading, too. You don't have to prime back the blaster or anything to load it. You just go to the switch here and flip that up, okay, and then that allows you the space here to go ahead and start feeding your rounds into, okay? 4, 5, and 6. Okay, now what I do like about this too, you have a couple options here. One, this completely comes off. You can just snap that right off. And, you know, it's fine without it. Kind of ruins the lines of the blaster a little bit, but easier access that way. So that door will actually come out, operates just fine without it. The thing I like about it being there is that you can put a couple of rounds up in here, store a couple rounds there, close that, and now they're stored there ready to go. So when you open that back up again, your first 2, you can just slide them right back. So I think that's a pretty neat little feature you haven't seen on any other blaster before. So that's pretty cool. D-prime back here on it. A couple utility rails, top and bottom, so that's kind of nice. The bottom one's a little bit nicer. But yeah, those are really, it's a nice blaster, nice feeling blaster. Big, and I kind of like that. You know, it's not really tiny feeling. To me, even more than some of the other Adventure Force and Dart Zone blasters. This one feels actually pretty nice, but I am going to lose that. They'll feel even a whole lot better to me once I lose that. I've got pretty big hands, and yeah, that's just kind of getting in the way there. But let's go ahead and tell you what. Let's go ahead and get some numbers on that. That's what everybody wants to see right off the bat. Let's see exactly what this will do straight out of the box. Okay, the prime on it, that's not too bad. It's pretty good. But like I said, now I have seen other reviews, and there are some really good reviews out there on this blaster, but yeah, I've seen it be kind of underpowered. We didn't get anything out of the first one. That happened on the Liberator too. I wonder if there's some kind of issue with that on this one. 65.9. and you can just hear it. It's so soft. Yeah, that prime is pretty easy. Let's see here now. Shot 2, 70.8. Okay, let's go ahead and fire all 6 shots out of it. 66.5. Okay. Go ahead for our 4th shot here. 70.8. So it's kind of hanging in there. Underwhelming as it is, it's hanging in there. Okay, here we go. Next shot. 67.5. And here we go. Last and final shot, shot number 6. 70.5. So I really like to hang in there at that 70 mark. 70.5 feet per second. You know, you just expect a lot more of that out of a rival, at least 90 out of rival blasters. So that's why I say I really want to get into this one. So let's see what we ended up at. Yeah, max was even was 70.8, minimum was 65.9 over an average of 68.6. So this one right out of the box actually performed a little bit better than the Liberator did right out of the box. That one didn't do so good. I think it was 67.5 or something like that. So 68.6 anyways. Yeah, pretty much under par from what I would need for competing with. You know, everything that I'm interested in making improvements to blasters so that they are something that's competitive. When I hit the playing field, I want something that's good and it's going to be reliable and it's going to, you know, perform well. It's going to be able, you know, to blast a target that's more than 20 feet away. You know, I just, those are the things that I enjoy about it. So all the modifications that I'm most interested in doing are just that I am putting something in it that's just going to make it perform better, you know, and that's exactly what we're going to do today here. We're going to experiment with this. I am going to go ahead and I believe right now, just go ahead and take all of those screws out of this thing. Let's open this up and see what we've got going on inside. Yep, there we go. Got all of the screws taken out of it, I do believe, and this part seems real easy to take off. So was that very, very simple to take off. And we'll go ahead and take these off. And then I'm going to go in here very, very carefully. Oh, I got a couple hidden screws there. Check that out. I thought there might have been. Go ahead and just get rid of these real quick. How did I miss those? There we go. Now I can get to oh, we got another one. Hidden screw down there below the priming. Down here. Do I have another one there? No. I think we are good now. I could probably just get away with leaving those right there in the shell. We very carefully take it apart so nothing goes flying all over the place. No springs popping out at us anywhere. And there we go. Let's take a good look at the internals and that wimpy little spring that's in there. And we're going to see what we can do about that spring. Yeah, definitely. But just, would you look at that? You know, look at the whole plunger system, the trigger, the catch. Like, once again, we've been here before. This is a really, really simple deal, you know, much like a Chronos, you know. Hey, the system works, why not use it, you know? So yeah, that's definitely what they've done here with, you know, Adventure Force has done in this blaster is, you know, very, very simple plunger and catch mechanism here. First of all, though, I am going to go ahead and we're going to lose all of the safety mechanism out of there. Absolutely do not need it at all in here, just getting in the way. That one sticks out more than the Liberator one. It was the only thing about this handle that I thought was kind of uncomfortable about it. And then, yeah, real simple here. We're just going to work our catch mechanism up out of there. It's got a little bit of pre-compression on it. I like seeing that. But then this spring, my, it's so wimpy. But this is the thing that I wanted to know, and I'm actually kind of really relieved about, was I wanted to know the diameter of the spring and exactly what spring they were using in there. Yeah, it is something different that they've used, and it is just, like I said, that's a fairly wimpy spring. But looking at the diameter, that does tell us that we can fit K26 in here. Okay, Liberator took K25, and for a very good reason is that it wouldn't, the diameter is bigger on a K25 spring than on a K26. And it wouldn't quite seat at either end of them, so that we ended up going with the K25, which worked out really nice. We ended up with a really nice performing blaster out of the deal when it was all said and done with, for something that started even weaker firing than this one. But we're going to go and we're going to figure out how much K26 that I'm going to need to get with this. Okay, and keep it. Yeah, I don't want to go any more than the length of the stock spring. We're going to see what that is and see the length of the plunger rod there. Okay, and see if we don't have to be cautious about how much spring that we put in here. Let me go get a chunk of K26, which I thankfully have. If this would have taken K25, I'd have to box this project all up because I know I don't have a piece of K25 quite long enough. So I do have K26 though, all ready to go. In fact, I'm going to go over there and check that out and see where we're going to cut that at. Be right back. Okay, see what I did is I just cut a section of K26 exactly the length of the stock spring, which is, like I said before, it's a pretty soft spring. It's got a little bit lower frequency than K26, so I'm a little apprehensive that I have 15 coils here. Cut it to 15. That's quite a bit. If it works, this is going to be great, okay? Also, I took a pair of pliers, and you can see a little bit, I squared down one of the ends right there. The other one's already squared. So that should help with the fit a little bit, like I said, but I'm putting 15 coils of K26 in here. You know, like I said, I'm going to start with the same size as the stock spring. As we've seen, there was a little bit of compression going into that. So yeah, we should be fine, but I'm a little bit, I could take it almost as far back as to the end of the plunger rod here. But no worries, we're gonna go ahead and try it. It's worth the experiment, I guess. But this this was all pretty simple to get back in here. Okay, it just has to fit. Let's see, this should be able to. I think I'm gonna pre-compress this first. Just make sure that we get in there. That your catch and the plunger rod and everything. See, now if this catches, we should be fine. There it is, caught. Okay. You ever do that and feel like you're holding on to a hand grenade? Because I really hate when these things go off in my hand. It's nothing worse. So very gently put that back into place right here. Do not press that trigger. Ooh, that slides into place just perfectly, so nice, and there we are. The spring is in there, and as you can see, I really only got the tiniest amount of space in between them coils. So we're right there for it to catch, okay? So that should be good. These are sturdy blasters. I am not going to pad the plunger head on this one because, like I've said before, these blasters, they have a little spacer at the end of the plunger tube right here that all connects with this forward, and it fills in that space anyhow. So it's its own little system there. So I tend to leave that alone. Like I said, the first I've mentioned before, the first time I ever did a Powerball, I went ahead and patted that plunger head, and after about 5 shots, it blew everything forward out of there. Everything, the pusher rod and everything got pushed out of it and blown down the barrel. So enough of that. We should be safe here. We should be real good. And like I said, I like the way that spring is sitting in there, okay? Trigger's all real good there. I am not going to test it right now. We're going to trust that, because if I hit it, everything, that spring's going off. But let's go ahead and get this all screwed back together and see what kind of results we got. Okay, so there it is, all put back together very nicely, very easily. This was easy to take apart. It was really simple to put back together. Nothing fighting me on it or anything like that. I did do a little test shot, and I did dry fire the first time. So I want to see now, this time, it's actually going to pick up a round. That's a pretty stiff prime on it. That's because this grip is nice, but, I've seen nicer priming grips, okay? Well, let's go ahead and see if we can get a test shot to fire through this. No, okay? I'm gonna try that again. For some reason, on my first shot, there we go. First shot, 125.9. I'm not sure why that one didn't catch the first time. But as you can see, we went from 68 to 125.9. We're gonna go and get them all out of here. Let's see how we do and what our average is going to be. If I can hold this nice and steady. 120. Now, I did go ahead and put regular yellow Nerf rounds in it this time around. The only reason being, you know, actually the Adventure Force rounds, the ones that I really, really do like them because I like the way that they fly nice and straight. They're generally fairly accurate. They're about the slowest ones, though. A lot of times they're kind of down there as far as a slower round compared to like proton rounds that seem to zip really fast. 126.2. So we're doing pretty good right here. That prime is pretty stiff. I could lose a coil out of there, or half a coil even. 124.3. So we're hanging in there. That's pretty nice. 130. I think that one might have touched the side right there. I bet it did. Number 5. Hard to hold this pistol steady. 113.1 again. So that's kind of strange. I'm not so sure if it hit the inside of that or not. Yeah, I don't know, but 113.1 twice in a row. That's kind of strange. But we had a max of 126.2, we had a minimum of 113.1, and we had an average of 120.5. I think we can do a little bit better than that. Matter of fact, let's take a second test on there. I'm going to go grab some proton rounds and see how well they do in here. Okay, I wanted to retry the chronograph test on this because I felt like we were getting some really good results, and then the last 2 shots right there at 113.1 made me a little suspicious. So I went ahead and I went and grabbed 6 proton rounds. Now the first 3 in here should be the orange ones, and the last 3 should be the blue ones, I do believe. Let's get this over here. It's so shaky. 141.0. That's what I'm saying. These the proton rounds tend to fly really fast. Out of some blasters, they tend to be the ones that are going to be a little less accurate. Sometimes they'll build up a lot of speed and then fly either left, right, up, down, whatever. But yeah, that's pretty good right there. Let's try another one. 141 again. We're consistent. That prime is beastly, but let's keep it going. 140.3. We're getting some amazing results on this, though. That is pretty crazy. 141.6. Woo! Can we stay above 140 this whole time? I'll tell you what, that prime feels like. We sure feels like we could. We got 15 coils of K26 in this bad little blaster, dude, in a $10 blaster. 144.3. This just keeps getting better and better now, don't it? Let's see what we can do. Our last shot. We're here. Like I said, though, some of those proton rounds, even out of springers, they fly pretty good. Let's see what happens here. Oh, am I out? Thought I had, or did we miss a shot there somewhere? There we go. 139.7. Wouldn't you know, the last shot. I've actually seen in a couple other videos, the reviews, where they might have had that happen. They go ahead and prime it, and then kind of nothing happens. You prime it again, and there it is. So 139.7 on our 6th shot right there. All the shots were above 140, except for one that was just almost there. So let's see what we've got here. We got a max of 144.3, a minimum of 139.7, and an average of 141.3. Once again, this would be out of a blaster that costs $9.97 at Walmart. What's a length of K26? Cost me like $5 at Out of Darts. $5, cut that and not even half of it. Figure $250 for it right there. So $12, $13 blaster that does what? 144.3. Yeah, that's a pretty good success. Might want to work out a little bit, be able to get a grip on that. I'd love to see something like a greenhouse grip or something on there. That would be really amazing on this particular blaster, only because it feels almost like it does when you got a Chronos and you just got, your hand feels like it's going to slip off of there real easily, and you got quite that grip and quite that pull on it. But with a greenhouse grip, after a while, you don't even notice it anymore. It's just so easy. So I'd like to see something for that come out for the Adventure Force Sentry, but there it is. Pretty nice blaster, I gotta say. It turns out to be, like I said, it's got a heavy prime to it, but we got good results out of K26. It will take a K26 and it will kick butt with it. That is pretty good. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I certainly did enjoy making it for you. I think we got a great success here. If you could take a second, go on down there and hit that like button for me. Sure would appreciate it. But you take care, and I'll see you in my next video.